and see some of you this evening. Thanks for getting on this call to just talk about National Family Teams and start thinking forward to the next Great Stride season. While we're kind of wrapping up this past Great Stride season, we're excited to get started with all of you so that we can all learn from one another and just find out different ways that we can raise awareness and more money through the Great Strides platform. And as I think most of us on this call would agree, the National Family Team program is a great way to do that. It certainly expands your reach and just gets so many more people involved. So it's an exciting time to be a part of it. So welcome. I'm going to introduce the committee that works to keep all of this throughout these years, to keep these National Family Team calls going, to work on the Facebook page, to help kind of format some content that goes out, and then more recently has been helping more too on a national level to try to get the program even more expanded throughout the chapters, which is really exciting. First, I'll introduce Pam Baker of Baker Boys Battalion. Do you want to say hello, Pam?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I've been working on the National Family Team for about 9 or 10 years from when it started. So very excited this year to have a lot more structure and some new leadership. I think it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Thanks. Laura, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, Laura Gordon. I have an 18-year-old, and I'm very excited about National Family Teams, as all of us are on the call. And I think I wanted to just say to everybody on the call that it's not just, my program or Ginger's program or Pam's program or Maureen's, Alyssa's. It's all of ours. So I'm hoping that everybody kind of represents us in their chapter and spreads the words about this great program because, this is where the money is.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thanks, Laura. Maureen, do you want to say hello?
Sure, I'll say aloha. I'm Maureen, and I'm part of doing it for Drew, but I've been on the National Family Team Committee for a few years now. I am in Hawaii. I'm sorry, but someone has to do it. But yeah, we're all here for you, and we're all here for each other, and that's what we're all about.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And we're really excited this year to add someone new into the National Family Team Committee, but she is incredibly involved with National Family Teams and has done such an incredible job with her team and also just teaching so many other people about cystic fibrosis and Great Strides. So we want to be sure to welcome Elissa Shelius. Do you want to say hello?
Sure. Can you hear me?
It's
Yes.
Chelius.
Hi, guy. Oh, it's Chelius. John.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you. I'm calling from Tampa. This is John, but I have who's 7, but I have a 3-year-old with CF. That's John's little brother. And our team is Super George. And this is going to be our 4th year as the National Family Team.
I can't believe it's
I'm excited to be on the committee. I know.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And like I said, I'm Ginger Birnbaum, and I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I have Team Kenneth King's Believers, and then we've also kind of gotten a couple other little teams along with that are named for my kids too. Like they've started doing that with their friends, which has been fun. But I have King, who will be 7 on December 7th. And he has cystic fibrosis. And then his sister, Emma Virginia, who will be 10 on December 8th, does not have cystic fibrosis, but is very much a part of everything that we do and even has her own little team and gets her friends out to the walk and all that. So it's really fun. I want to introduce someone very special who, as Pam was saying, has really helped bring so much structure to the National Family Team program and will really be that continuity for us between this committee, all the different teams that have a National Family Team, have those branch teams, and then through the national office as well, really pulling that through the chapters. And that's Michelle Hartwick, who works with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and is leading us. Michelle, do you want to say hello?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I just joined the Bethesda office working for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation nationally, and I'm so excited that part of my job is working with all of you and all of the other, so I have two screens going, so I don't know which one to look at, working with all of the other National Family Team leaders. Like Laura said, you guys are the backbone of this Great Strides program, and I'm so excited to see where these national family teams go in 2019 and the success that we're going to have. So I'm really excited to work with all of you. I'm excited for this call, and thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And you can see too on your screens, this is just like some different pictures of teams for all of us that are on this committee. And I think it's really cool to point out, and I hope that you all point it out too to your branch teams and just other people that you might try to get involved in the committee. Sometimes there's so many people that are at the walk, a part of one branch team, and sometimes there's one picture here with like two people, and that's a team. And so I think this really speaks also to, national family team and branch teams can look like anything. I mean, it can be so varied, and that's what's so cool about it too. There's no one cookie cutter way to do this. So that's really exciting. And I know we're all proud to share these pictures with you too, and just show all of these people that are supporting this mission alongside you. So that's exciting. We wanted to tell you about the 4 calls that we'll be having this year. If you've been a part of the National Family Team program, you might remember that we had monthly calls, and we would do them 2 different days and different times and all that. These are the 4 calls that we have scheduled for now. But alongside that, we do have the Facebook page, and there will be stuff going out to your chapters and all that too. But these will be the times that we can really plug in and face-to-face or voice-to-voice, whatever works for you on that evening, get together and really talk about how we can move our mission forward. So in January, that's the Passion Fundraising and Letter Writing Campaign call. And that's so important because Passion Fundraising, of course, is one way that you can really change how you're fundraising. It's not just through a letter. And it's something that people can get involved with in a different way that's not just the walk. And then, of course, your letter writing campaign is really important too, if you're sending that out to people. So getting on that in January and starting to work on it and kind of form that plan around what it looks like and when you'll be sending it out. So mark that in your calendars, January 23rd at 8 p.m. And then in March, we'll have a call on social media. And if ever there's been anything that can spread far and wide and reach people you never imagined you were going to be able to reach out to or get your message in front of, it's through social media. And really the cool thing about that is there's so many different platforms for social media. So we definitely want to take the time to really dig into that and find some ways to capitalize on it. So save the date for March 12th at 8 p.m. for that call. And then we'll have a call coming up in April too. And we want your input about what you want to hear about and what you want these calls to focus on and what information you're not getting that you really feel like you need to be successful or your team's not getting and that you want to be sure you're passing along to them. So I know Michelle is always available for you to reach out and share that, and this committee is available for you to get in touch. And that Facebook page is a great place to share that kind of information if you have any questions or thoughts on what these calls need to look like. So we mentioned that National Family Team is really the backbone, this program, and that it's just incredible how it really helps to round out the Great Strides platform and that event. So if you're on your screens and you can see, like in 2015, there were 242 national family teams and 20. That's Spot. Also part of our Great Strides team. Hush, Spot, hush. But every year, our percentage overall is about 11% of the total Great Strides revenue, which is amazing considering the numbers. Of just, it's 242 teams of such a larger program, as you can see under that Great Strides revenue piece. And so it's really incredible what we've been able to do. And I think, what we're looking at now and what the foundation nationally is looking at, if we can do that with that number of teams, can you imagine if we really get a lot of people to buy into the National Family Team program and reach out truly to their networks and get them involved? It's kind of, the sky's the limit for as much as we can expand and continue to raise and just push that revenue for Great Strides. So it is very exciting. And it's great that we're all a part of this now and we can continue to share that with everyone. I'm going to pass it along now to Elissa to talk about gratitude and thanking people.
Yep, can't hear you. Elissa, you're on mute.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I have to mute for a little bit. Okay, so thanking people. So obviously when you, if you're a National Family Team or if you're just starting out, you always want to thank your donors and then thank them again. So I wanted to go over a couple of the different ways that you can thank your donors and reach out to them. And one of the easiest ways that we typically do this is through social media. So let's say it's the beginning of your Great Strides season and you make this beautiful video or a really heartfelt post or message. You include your link to give and your people, your friends, family, maybe even people you don't know, start to make donations to you. The easiest way to thank your donors is to tag the donor in that original post. And the thought that the thought of that is, you took all this time to make this video. You want your donors and you want their friends to go back to your original post as much as possible, because that was your, your main ask. That was your, your kickoff. That was where you put your video or your, your longer message about what the impact their gift makes. I really like the way that Ginger always does it. Ginger kind of puts these really cute icons and makes her thank yous on social media extremely personal. So I'm just naming two random people, but Elissa and Matt have been such good friends to our family, and they've known each other. They've known us since blah da da da, or we'll say something really sweet about those people and just kind of give them a shout out on social media. One thing that I like to do that I always think is impactful is that I actually make different groups of people. So for example, I have a group of, my hometown friends. I have a group of University of Florida people. I have a group of Pinecrest people where I went to school all growing up, a group of sorority people. And so, after a while, I'll kind of take those people in their different groups and thank them. And so what I personally think that does is it, you tag all the people in this post when you're thanking them. And I usually do something cute, like for University of Florida, we have this song that we always sing at the Gator games. And one of it is like, in all kinds of weather, we'll all stick together, for FLORIDA. So I kind of, made a little play on that, like in all kinds of weather, we all stick together. Thank you for supporting our family and our quest to cure cystic fibrosis. And so it tags that group of friends, but then all their friends see it and they're, it just, like for that, I think it's just exponential, especially since you have that group of people that know each other so well. And then, if someone's not included in that group, then they want to make their donation, and, it gets people a little bit more motivated and excited. Okay, so the next way is just a good old fashioned handwritten card. And that's my jam. I really love the handwritten note. I think it's a lost art. And so what I've done in the past, I have some pictures, this is a card that we did our first year for George. It just says, "Thank you for making me smile." That's George. And then when you open it, it had a message that was on each card. But then I also wrote, "Dear Laura, thank you so much for your donation. It meant so much to us." Another thing that you can do, which is a little bit more cost effective, is a postcard. And this is what we did on year 2. It was just a little thank you, also with a written message already on. But I always take the time to write a personal message. Pam's going to think I'm a complete stalker, but I have another creative way of doing it. Hi, Pam. I have your holiday card from 2016. So this was their holiday card, and they did just a really cute message on the back, wishing you joy and happiness in the coming year and sending endless thanks for helping the Baker Boys Battalion raise way too much money for CF. Yes, that's what it says. And I know it actually says the amount, $450,000 this year for the CF Foundation. And then it's Gavin, Jake, Sabrina, Duncan. So I thought that was a really cute way, to do that in their holiday card. And this was just another note that we did for George. And it was blank on the back, just with a picture. And then I wrote my personalized note. So handwritten, you really can't go wrong with that. Creative thank you ideas. I think I haven't really done too many, but I've heard some people make ornaments, or they have, especially for your team leaders, you want to keep your team leaders, motivated, and you want them to want to keep leading your team. So I know people have done different, maybe put a picture of their team wherever their walk was. They grab that from Facebook and maybe put it in a cute frame, or even, have it printed out and send it in a card to them or something. Just something that is a little bit different and a little bit unique. And another creative way of saying thank you, I was talking to Laura about this the other day, but you know what? A good old-fashioned telephone call, because that I also kind of think is a lost art. Everyone just emails or texts now. And I had a gift come in last year from a dear friend that I've known. He used to live across the street from me and was just a wonderful friend. And he's a little bit younger than me, but he's just doing so well in work and just killing it at work. And, made this gift that was so much larger than I expected and so much larger than he made the year before. And you know what I did when I saw that come in? I called him and I was like, "Mike, thank you so much. And, it just means so much to us." And he was like, "Elissa, I'm doing really well. I want to share this with you, and I want to support your family and all you're doing for the CF Foundation." So that was really meaningful to him, and it was really meaningful to me. So we got to catch up. So the moral of the story is there is no wrong way to say thank you. And it's also never too late to say thank you. You'd like to have your thank yous be immediate, but, everyone appreciates to be thanked, and everyone appreciates you just reaching out to them. So, is that good? Okay.
Thanks. Michelle, we'll pass it over to you to talk website and how we're actually going to get cooking on all this.
Yeah, so hopefully everyone got an email from either the national office or from their local chapter letting them know that the website is open and you can register for 2019. We're really excited. We changed the look of the Great Strides website. Actually, the whole campaign, the new marketing tagline is "Until It's Done." And we really just brightened it up, freshened it up, took some of our different families and took pictures and featured them. Pam and her boys are one of them, so you'll see them on some of the new marketing materials. But really, it's the same website. We just increased some of the functionality. And so that is what I'm going to focus on for this call. And as always, if you're struggling with the website, if you have questions on anything, just let me know. So the first exciting new feature that I wanted to talk about is this personalized video. Ginger and Elissa, I believe it was both of you that were talking about making a personalized video, and some people don't have the ability to do that. And so the exciting thing about the website this year is that you can make your own video. It's automatic. It's this little, you know what it reminds me of? Those Facebook, like you've been friends for 7 years and it just kind of like plops in your friends' names and it's animated. That's kind of what this is. It has different videos from different Great Strides across the country. It updates with your goal, and you can use this. You can share this on social media. When someone logs in, they'll see this on the top of your personal page. So it's a really neat feature. If you wanted to take it down, that is an option. You can't do it yourself, but you need to, Great Strides staff can do it for you. So you can just reach out to your local chapter, or you can reach out to me. But this video is available on your participant center, and you can still have this video, and then up here you can do your 2 different pictures, and then you could still, if you do create your own video about your family, your friends, your story about CF, you can still upload that from YouTube. So there is the ability to still do that. The exciting thing about this video too is that other nonprofits that have used this and shared it on their social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, they have found that participants who shared this video raise as much as 3 times as those who didn't. So we're really excited about this video and what it could mean for fundraising. Does anybody have any questions on the video? Let me know. The next one that I'm really excited about is called this social media sharing. So what you can do is if you go to this send messages tab, you can send emails, but you can also share messages through social media channels. And in this screenshot, you can see I chose the Make a Difference message. And you have the option to send it via Facebook, email, Twitter, LinkedIn. And if you were logged in on your cell phone, you would also have the ability to send this via text message. So that would pop up as well. And then each message is short. I call it like Twitter size. It's literally like 1 or 2 sentences, and it just says, you know, support me, I'm doing great strides, and then the link to the personal donation. So that's really exciting. And if you hit this, oops, sorry, I went too far. Let me go back. If you hit the, sorry guys, technical difficulties. If you hit this email button, it will show through, you can send it through whatever you have open, whichever is your email browser. So it can send through Outlook, it will send through Gmail. You don't have to send emails through the participant center like you used to have to. Literally, it will just open up a Gmail email right on your screen, and it'll have those 2 sentences in there with the link, and you can go ahead and send it. You don't have to worry about importing your address book, any of that. If you do love that participant center, there still is the option to do that up there. So those are the cool new features. I'm really excited about them. I think it's a lot more user-friendly. And like I said, if you have any questions or need any help with it, I am available. Also, I will throw Laura Gordon under the bus. She helped test this for us, and she's familiar too. Laura, did I miss anything? You muted.
I'm just going to weigh in real quick because I know several of us had problems with our national family team pages and being able to edit them in the past. And I know I was contacted by someone by headquarters who, I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it looks like it's working now. So if you are still experiencing problems, when you go to edit, because you've got your own personal page, your branch team page, and your National Family Team page. And depending on who you are, you have up to 3 pages you can edit. But for the National Family Team pages, if you are having problems, let us know because we think it's working.
Hey guys, can you hear me? It's Laura.
Hi, Laura.
I think that the best thing about the website is it's a little bit more intuitive now. You know, I think that sometimes you had to hunt and search for what you wanted to do, and I think it's a little bit more second nature now. That would be my biggest, like, overall change for it.
Perfect.
Great.
And like I said, if you have any questions, if you're going, playing around on there and you can't figure out how to change your goal or anything like that, just let me know. I'm more than happy to show you.
Great. Well, thank you, Michelle. We're going to pass it over to Laura and Pam now to show us the fundraising ropes. So we'll let y'all take it from here.
All right, I'm going to start. This is Pam. So end of the year, all of the Great Strides walks have wrapped. And, we don't really have Great Strides on the mind, although I'm so impressed with the number of people that we have on this call. It's amazing. One of the things you should do right now, because it's not too late, the year end is, I don't know, I think it's December 31st. Am I correct, Michelle?
Sorry, Laura was muted. Yes, December 31st.
Okay, so you have time. So not to put pressure on you, but if you are not happy with where you are, there are things you can do. So one of the first things you need to look at is, where are you with your fundraising? Are you happy with it? If you are, that's awesome. Wrap it up and call it a year, call it a day, be done. If you're not, there's still time to do things. We actually have a Christmas concert that we're doing on December 15th. So sliding in another event before the end of the year. And, it'll add another little pop, and it'll be, for year end. So it's kind of exciting. So there's still things you can do. It can be anything. It can be, we talked about ornament exchanges, or, I kind of, if you've been on these calls before, you may have heard me talk about our very, very, very first Passion fundraiser way, way, way back was a New Year's Eve party that we had in our house. And, we just invited people over and said, we provided the food and the drinks and just said, donate what you would have donated if you had gone out for the night for New Year's Eve. And people did. And, we raised like $1,000 that night just from, hosting a party, which we host all the time anyway. We always have people over, so we just turned it into a fundraiser. And there's all kinds of ways you can, if you're not satisfied with where you are, it's not too late. So those are just a couple of things you can do. I'm looking at my notes here. First, I meant to say I freaking love this whole video conference situation. I think it's so fun that we can see each other. And I think that when we all go to VLC, it's going to be really fun because we'll know what we look like and not just the sound of our voices. So that's really fun for me. Let's see. Christmas cards. So Alyssa talked about that, and those were all amazing ideas. And I totally stole my idea that I did on mine. I stole it from somebody else. So that's what these calls are so great for, is it's idea sharing. Let's call it idea sharing instead of stealing from one another. But idea sharing is awesome, and you can get so many great ideas, and I totally stole that. One of the things that actually several of the people who work on one of our events, we have an event called Shamrockin' for a Cure, and people who, we have several of our committee members who are not families, but they always, on their Christmas cards, put save the date. So if you already do a Passion fundraiser, or you're planning to do one for the first time in 2019, add that to your Christmas card. Add that on the back. Save the date for March 23rd, Shamrockin' for a Cure. You can add that, and that's just another little way to get sort of start engagement for next year. So there's all kinds of ways you can use your holiday cards that you're going to send out anyway to have a little soft, either a thank you or a soft ask. You can put your link in there if anybody, there's still time. There are plenty of people looking for a way write off money for the end of the year. And that's a great way to remind them on your holiday card that you're going to send out already. Is just don't forget about that year-end tax write-off. If you're looking for a place to put your money, here's my link. You can put it there. That's a great way to do it. And again, back to passion fundraising. One of the things we do at the end of the year is our for our event with corporate sponsorship. A lot of times the corporate sponsorships, they want to get the write-off for this year, even though it's for an event next year. And it's a great way to secure your sponsorships for 2019 by getting them in now, and you'll already start ahead of the game. The money can be banked for your event for next year, but they get the tax write-off in this year, and a lot of times companies want to do that. So think about that too if you are planning on something.
That's a good one.
Let's also think about no matter where you are with your fundraising, share it with your team leaders. I oftentimes forget to do that. And it's really important because you start your whole year out of your fundraising year, which, will start kind of now, but really in January, you get together with your team leaders for your national family teams, and together you have to come up with a goal, right? And we'll get into more of that. Laura's going to actually talk about building your fundraising plan for next year, but talk about it with them. You spend time doing that, building it, but a lot of times by the time it comes around to the end of the year, we're like, okay, let's just call this a done deal and move on. But it's really important to go back to your team leaders, your whole team ideally, but your team leaders especially, and let them know, where did you turn out? How did you end up? Your fundraising goal was, $5,000, and you came in at $5,000, or you came in at 45, or you came in at 10. Your team needs to know where you are, and know, they also, like Alyssa said, they need to know that what they did made a difference in getting you there. So no matter where you are, it's important to thank them and keep them looped in, as they're very important parts of your team, especially your team leaders, and they need to know where you ended up and where you're going for next year. So what else? I'm looking at my notes. One of the things that's hard, you finally feel like, especially if you have a walk in the fall, it feels like Great Stride season is all year long, and it kind of is. But you got to find the balance of making it fun and not making it exhausting. And so it is a kind of a year-round thing, but it doesn't have to be an everyday thing. So just think about that. But use these moments like this holiday push, when you're going to see people out and about at holiday parties, when you're going to do your holiday cards. Just be talking. I'm going to be... we have 1 million holiday parties to go to. We're going to see so many people over this next month or 5-6 weeks. Just be talking about it, and be talking about what you have going on. Be talking about Great Strides. Be talking about what you have planned for next year. Weave it into the conversation. It doesn't have to be like a sales pitch. You can weave it into your conversation, and just it keeps people looped in a very natural, soft way, not a sales pitch way, And if you can just figure out how to master that, and I'm happy to help you if you ever want to run anything by me, that's a really great way to just keep people knowing, what's going on. You can drip it on your social media too, like save the dates. Those are big things. And just say, like this Christmas concert we have coming up, I'm kind of dripping it into my conversations every day when I'm talking to people. And it's sort of like a soft flow. It doesn't have to feel heavy. It doesn't have to feel stressful. It's just learning how to master weaving that into your everyday conversations, if that makes sense. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? No? We'll have some time for, go ahead, somebody.
I actually do have a question. Sorry, this is Jackie.
Okay.
So in the past, I know, and maybe you've said this earlier, I actually got disconnected from you guys, and I'm not on the video call because I'm driving home from work, like an hour and a half. So,
Okay.
yeah, fun. But anyway, my question is, I know in the past online fundraising through the Great Strides, system, app, whatever it is, the money like stopped, the fundraising stopped like in October. Does it? But it would go to the next year after October. Is it still the same way?
You might want to answer this, but Michelle, go ahead.
If you send in a check after October or November, whenever you send it in, and you want it to go towards your 2019, you have to specifically say that. Otherwise,
no. I mean, if somebody does an online, if somebody does an online donation,
if they donate to your 2018 website, it'll go towards 2018. And the 2018 websites are up, as Pam said, till the end of the year.
Oh no.
Okay, they are.
Until the 31st, Jackie.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The only other thing I wanted to mention is, you can go back on your list because I believe, Michelle, the website still does this. You can go see who's been a previous donor for your website and then go back to them and send out something. And again, it can be a soft ask. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be sales pitchy, but you can go back to them and say, hey, I noticed it doesn't look like you got a chance to donate this year. If you need a tax write-off by the end of the year, here's my link. You can just send that. And I'm sure there's so many people out there who don't remember. And once you're done on your big push, they just it falls off their mind. But then I've literally had people come to me feeling so bad. They're like, oh my God, I totally forgot. So, actually people will appreciate that reminder and the tax write-off by the end of the year. So that's another soft way of just going back on the website.
Yeah, you can look on the website, and also the chapter staff should be able to pull for you too your last 4-year donors. So you can look and see everyone that donated for you the last 4 years and see if there's anyone.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's all I have. On to you, Laura.
Hey, so I think I'm up. I don't know if I'm on video. Hopefully I'm not, because I'm in my pajamas. Literally in my pajamas. So,
hey, Laura, 1 second. Jackie, it might be your car. I'm hearing some background noise. Can you mute and just see if that helps?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll mute it.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
can you guys hear me okay, Pam?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good call on the background noise. So I think, I'm excited about our first call, everybody. And I think we've had such always such great information. And I know that many of you have heard this information, but sometimes when it's phrased a different way, it just kind of, strikes home. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit was building that fundraising plan for 2019. And that makes it sound like, oh, I got to build my fundraising plan. No, you just got to write some numbers on a piece of paper. But you should do it. Like if you're an Excel nerd like I am, you've got it like marked out very specifically. But while you're sitting at the kitchen table, mark it out, write it down, because you're not going to hit your goals if you don't know what your goal is and how you're going to actually do it. Like, so maybe last year you set your goal at 10,000, but you only reached 7. Okay, so where were some of the areas that you kind of thought in your mind that you were going to go a little higher, but you didn't? Maybe it was some of your branch teams that, they did 1,500 last year, but they only did 300 this year. I would really write those things down, look at it, take 5 minutes and kind of analyze it. It doesn't have to be like a midterm or something like that, or like a homework assignment. Just give it some thoughtfulness. And like we were saying, that you can get that historical data about who has donated to your team over the years. I always keep an Excel spreadsheet of my big donors. And that way, if the new year hits and some of those folks didn't donate that year, I know who the first people I'm going to go after at the end of the year to make my number, or early in the next fiscal year to be like, hey, we'd really like your support. And most of the times, if we do one of those great thank yous that we do, I find that we have very good return on our donors. So say you write out your spreadsheet, or you write out your piece of paper and you're short, and you say, okay, well, how am I going to do it? What am I going to do to, reach that number? Maybe you're going to reach out to a couple new friends about being team leaders. Or maybe having a lot of teams isn't the best thing for you. Maybe you want to have those, 3 or 4 national family teams or branch teams, but you want to just really kind of boost them up. Or maybe you think one of those teams could do a little passion fundraiser, or they could do a jeans day, or they could just do something different. Or maybe you can. Last year, we did something that I was pretty excited about. I was on one of these calls, and we were talking about corporate sponsors and donors and matches. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go after matches for Great Strides, because our Great Strides Walk is in the first weekend of June. It follows CF Awareness Month. It follows Austin's birthday, my CFer. So I just kind of reached out to some local companies and contacts to see who would be willing to sponsor our May donations, or who would be willing to sponsor a week worth of donations. And I'm not really sure that the foundation loves me calling it a match or not, but that's what I called it. Sorry, Michelle, I'm not sure. But it gets people jazzed, like, hey, I'm going to donate and I'm going to match somebody else's donation. So call it what you want, but that kind of thing was something new for our team this year that I was very excited about. And I think also, while you're looking at your list, just like when you look at your closet, some things in your closet are dated and don't work anymore, right? I mean, that shirt from the 80s, time to let it go, right? So if you've got some kind of fundraising event, or your method isn't really working anymore, change it up. Try something new. That's what's so great about CF Great Strides Fundraising. Do what works for you. Do what you have fun, and that your people can get behind. Not everybody can do a very standard letter. Not everybody does a rockin' video. Not everybody does a great social media post. Do you, So that's what I would have to say about your fundraising is do you. And a lot of people on our National Family Team sites and throughout Facebook have really, really fantastic ideas. So come the springtime, I do start stalking some of those people and be like, hey, what's the rest of our community doing? How are they keeping it fresh, and how are they changing things up? And so we're going to do a big undertaking, Team Feats, this spring, and we're going to do a shamrocking, which you guys may or may not heard of, in Annapolis, because a couple of the things that we did weren't quite working the way I wanted them to do. So I'm excited about our shaking it up. Threw out some new things in the closet, and I bought a really nice new thing of shamrocking.
Makes me happy.
That's what I would have to say about you're building your fundraising plan. Don't look at it as homework. Sit next to a nice cold glass of beer or a nice glass of wine. Throw down some numbers and see where they fall, and then figure out what you were going to do to hit the number you want to reach. And obviously, every year, that number should be going up, by the way. If you hit 1,000 last year, you want 1,500 this year. If you hit 10,000, you want 12,000. So, more people, more money equals a cure for CF. That's all that me and my pajamas have to say.
Thanks, pajamas.
I think that Maureen is up. Social media, bring it on, girl.
Okay, social media. We've talked a little bit about social media today. Of course, Alyssa mentioned it with thank yous. Pam mentioned it. Even Laura mentioned it. Social media is more and more becoming one of the great ways that you can solicit not only donors, but volunteers, sharing information and bringing a culture together. That's not to say that your letter writing campaigns can't bring in some big bucks. They do. There are different targeted audiences for different things, just like any other advertising. And that's what social media really is. So certainly you want to thank everyone. Like Alyssa said, definitely thank your donors and get your little, your link in there for more donations. But thank your team members and thank them publicly. Thank them for being a supporter. It doesn't matter if they are providing help for you on Great Strides Day and helping support you as a physical presence, or if they're making a big donation. All of that is what's helping us. And you want to share information. Obviously, if those of us in the community have heard recently some great information from Vertex, which is wonderful. It's not for everyone, and I am very excited about Vertex, the latest findings, but that is going to help my nephew, but it's not going to help everyone, and so I keep pushing that. It's not a cure. But you want to make sure that other people in your team and in your donor list know that that information is going on, because they're not going to be as in tune to things as you are. By telling them what their donations are going towards, they're going towards advancements in science. Things that you're excited about, they can get excited about, or they'll get excited for you. They don't have to get all nitty gritty and all into the numbers, but they can see your satisfaction and your glee when some of this new stuff is coming through. But one of the most important things is ask for help, ask for donations, ask for whatever you need. Worst case, someone's just not going to say anything. Best case, someone says, hey, I'll lead a team for you here. I may not be able to do it next year, but I can do it this year. And you know what? Take it, because every little bit helps. And then one of the things to remember with social media is you got to change it up. Don't do the same exact thing every single time. Certainly thank everybody, but like Alyssa mentioned, maybe change it up a little bit when you thank it. Make it personal, but also change. Do pictures, videos if you've got it. Do plain text. Change the day and time that you post, because your community, I'm sure, like mine, spans many time zones. People are looking at social media at many different times of the day. And so if they're coming home, many of you guys, if you're on the East Coast, it's now, 8:48? Well, it's 3:48 p.m. in Hawaii. There are people that I know who are still at work who aren't going to be getting onto a lot of social media, maybe checking it real quick at work, but not really in any source until after work. And so if I post all the time at 9 a.m., a lot of people aren't going to see it. But there will be some people who see it. So you just need to change it up and look at it. A lot of people also have some separate pages for their teams. We have a We Are Doing It for Drew group on Facebook, and I know a lot of other people here on the National Family Teams have their own pages for their groups as well. And that's another great way that you can share information to your team members and also ask for their assistance. If you need assistance doing social media for your team, I guarantee you have a team member, not necessarily a leader, but a team member who can help you. So ask them, because I'm sure they'd be happy to say, hey, I can do that because I can sit home in my pajamas and do that. So those are just some things. I know we'll be talking about social media later on in another call. If you have any questions on social media, please ask. We do have a Facebook page. If you need access to that, let us know. We'll get you in there. And then ask questions. That's how we are. Like Pam said, we'll idea share or steal. Either one works for me.
Great. Thank you, Maureen.
I would like
Maureen?
to add, Maureen, that there's nothing wrong with sitting home in your pajamas.
No, there's not. I had to go put clothes on. Sorry. I'm on my day off.
Well, thanks, Maureen. And if everybody wants to look on our National Family Team Facebook page, Maureen is really doing a great job of keeping that updated, keeping it fresh, making sure that you all have the information that you need, like for these committee calls, and even some things that are suggestions that you can post on your own pages. So definitely follow along there with Maureen, or you could follow her on Facebook too, because she posts lots of great stuff. So you can always share. That's another way to do that for sure.
Hey, Ginger, it's Laura. Anybody can post on that National Family Team page. I just wanted to say that, if someone has a question or they have a great idea, they don't need to wait for one of us to post it. We'd love to have them post it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone has access to comment on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you guys have a great idea, please share it there.
Yeah. So just takeaways, and then it's 8:51, so we should have some time for some questions too, or just information if anybody else wants to share anything that you've been doing this year or that you plan on doing next year. But like Laura was saying, just identifying your team goals and kind of getting your head wrapped around what your expectations are for your team next year, 2019. Again, joining that National Family Team Facebook group, where there's lots of information, places for you to plug in, share your information, and just follow along in general. And then spread the word on your own social media, whether that's Instagram. I know, well, she was on earlier, but some people do like really incredible jobs on Instagram, and then you can just share it to Facebook. So whatever platform you use for social media, make use of it for your mission with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And then in your local chapters, really sharing about what national family teams are, how you can get involved with them, what people need to do. You can share with them that we have Michelle, who's working really hard to help grow this program on a national level, because not everyone knows about national family teams. So definitely sharing in your chapters is going to help the program overall. And someone may be very, very excited to hear that there's a way that they can, get their family 3 states over involved in a much more concrete way than just sending a donation. So just be sure that you're sharing that with people. And then we do have some time for questions, any discussion, anything that anyone wants to share.
Hey, it's Laura. I have a question. Maureen, would you be able to share that awesome post that you had last year regarding social media and the best times to share and how to do?
Yeah, I had stolen that. I'll just come out and say it. I think I stole that from someone from the from VLC, but I will find that and I will recirculate that again. And it is based on a number of different things, and that boils down to different social media platforms have different audiences, just like any television station, television show or anything, demographics, and also just different times of the day where you can target people. Again, you do have to factor in time zones, because some of that will be, the most times are like between 4 and 6. Well, that's 4 and 6 like after work time periods. So things to factor in. But I will find that. I will post it on the Facebook page, and we'll get it up to Michelle so we can get it out to everybody.
I would love to hear how some of the people that are kind of new to our calls, had some success yet last year and what they tried differently. Mark, can I start with you?
Call them out, Laura.
She will.
I know.
Hey there. Yeah. So I had three other teams beside my team last year, and two of the teams didn't really do that much. It was just kind of more of a little family event, which is okay. And then my parents had something in Phoenix. But as I was doing it, because I got started kind of late, I kept thinking about inviting just friends that I have all over the country to start a team, and obviously the worst thing they could say is no. And so that's kind of what we were discussing tonight here. I'm thinking, hey, I'm just going to ask some of my active donors that seem like they're into stuff to see if they'd join the team and try to get some of their friends to do it across the country. So that's what I plan on pursuing this year.
That's a great plan. I like it.
Well, thank you.
All right,
Dang.
all right, Ketty, let's hear what you did. You always have some awesome ideas. Ketty, what did you try differently this year? Ketty. Okay, maybe Ketty's not there. How about Lisa? Are you on the call, Lisa?
I am.
What did you try differently this year?
I didn't really try much, all that new and different. I was focusing on the Mr. Brewster participation at the high school that ended up raising over $50,000. I think I've mentioned about that before.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's senior boys at the high school, and it's a community pageant, and brings everyone together. But it's 18 senior boys that raised over $50,000. So I do that and some other small walks. But now my son is going off doing the CF climbs, and my sister does the cycle event. So I'm getting pulled in a lot of different directions. So I really need to sit down with that paper and pencil at the kitchen table and make a different plan for this year.
There you go. I like it. Sorry, I hijacked the end of the call, Ginger. It's all you.
No, you're fine. Does anyone else have anything though? Like any questions about what we went over, whether it's website, any of the stuff Elissa talked about at the beginning of the call about thank yous, or maybe how you would even get one of those postcards printed or anything? Any question that you have at all? There's probably several other people that have the same question. So please ask.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say this is our first year as a national family last year, as our granddaughter's just a year old. Our son is stationed in the Navy, and he did a cribbage tournament out at the base. Wasn't greatly received, but they got some people, and the person who won the prize donated it back. And the other thing is my brother turns pens, and he made a special CF pen that we tried selling also. So it's just something a little different and trying to get some fundraising done. It's interesting. So we'll see what we do this year.
Yeah, that's awesome, Joan. I mean, and the thing about that too is, and we talk about this a lot, and we'll talk about it more when we get into the Passion fundraising call. There's so many different ways to do it. And you may have something that one year, it just starts to get some traction. It's not very big, but it can always grow. And even those smaller things, they all add up, because there's, like we said, 242 or more national family teams, and then the rest of everyone that's involved in Great Strides doing all of that too. So it's great to get all different types of events going and all that. But thanks for joining the call tonight too, and for working so hard for your granddaughter, and for everyone else. We appreciate it for sure. Well, does anyone else have any questions?
I have a question. Yeah, this is Mark again. So when I signed up my team, I had told somebody at the local chapter this as well. The only thing that got a little, maybe not as intuitive, it was like search for a team in your area, and then, I guess I typed in the team name, and it was almost like I know I wanted to I don't know, whatever they call it, recreate my team from last year, but I was afraid, like, that wasn't obvious at first. I felt like I either needed to create a new team or try to find an existing team, which wasn't there. So I wound up figuring it out. But the question is, the people that had teams elsewhere, is it going to look the same, or what's the best way to tell them on how to recreate their team from last year, the family team?
Michelle, do you want to answer it?
Yeah. So if you were already a national family team last year, you will be in that drop down box. Your team's already created. Can one of you tell me though, Ginger or Pam or Laura, when you register, do you automatically, just when you sign in again, are you just automatically there on that team?
Yeah, when I did it for 2019, I was logged in, and then I went and found my walk for this year, and I can't remember what the button is that I clicked, but then it like kicked me right in, and it at that point, because I was logged in, it knew who I was, And so I think it associated me right away.
I think,
so I think
yes,
the
I think there's just an option, like it's just going to say, like you don't have to search it, and it's just going to say rejoin Baker Boys Battalion. So it should be a little bit more user friendly the second year around.
The advice, Mark, that I would have for anyone, particularly who's doing it now, is have them log into their account first, then find the walk that they're going to be walking in next year. And that should sync it right away. Otherwise, then, yeah, you're probably going to have to do the drop down. And if you can't, if they aren't associated, just let Michelle know, or your local chapter, as I recall in the past. They can sync everything back up. So if they've missed the connection, it can be fixed later on.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
100%.
Yeah, thank you for the question. And again, like on that Facebook page, anytime something like that's going on, the Facebook page is also a great spot to ask questions like that. And let your branch teams know that obviously we want them on this Facebook page too. And that way, if they have questions that pop up and it's maybe something that, you know, we can't answer for them, Michelle's on there too. Maybe she'll see it or we can get it to her. So that's just a great spot to kind of 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, stay connected.
And I'd also say, I'll add to that, Ginger, that if you would like us to give you a call and walk you through something or brainstorm or anything, please let us know. Or if you just want to do an email exchange with some of us, we're more than willing to do that. Anything that'll help you get further along or bounce ideas. Or I'm sure Michelle can also help you if you are running into problems with the website. Reach out, let us know, and you know, she can help you walk through things or give you a demonstration.
Great. Thanks. Well, we hope that you all will save the date for our January call. Do you have a slide on that one, Michelle? Thank you. I'm forgetting the date off the top of my head. I was like writing it on the calendar today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to remember. So definitely save the date for that. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but it will be about passion fundraising and the letter writing campaign. Two really, really great ways to help you engage with so many more people and get so much more support for your team in 2019. So that calls on January 23rd. At 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm sure that Maureen will be reminding you of that along the way on that Facebook page. And of course, you'll be getting email from Michelle as well, and hopefully your chapters are reaching out to you too. And in the meantime, absolutely, let's all stay connected, whether it's by phone, social media, email, whatever way is easiest. But thank you all so much, no matter what time it is where you are, for getting on the call today and just kicking off 2019 in such a fun way and helping to bring 2018 to a strong close. So we hope that you all have a great rest of your week and a really good holiday season. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.